Hello everyone, welcome to CSR's UPSC online classes, C as in content, S as in strategy, R as in revision. And this will be our continuation of our international relations, that is the IR series. This will be our third video or the third lecture. The first lecture was on International Court of Justice, International Criminal Court, and Permanent Court of Arbitration, because all these three are quite similar in sound. So I have compiled them in one particular video. That will be the first video. You can go to my playlist and check. The second video was on ASEAN, which is very important. I had covered ASEAN, both static and related current affairs. You can go to that video and check. These are also static part plus related current affairs, like not that much current affairs, but all those terms which are related to this static part, I have covered it. Mostly like it's covered like in a holistic manner. And in today's topic, we'll be covering India and Africa relations. Okay. So it may help you in prelims. It also may help you in mains. You guys will be having your own notes. So from here, you can do your value addition. Okay. So IR is a very important topic from prelims and mains perspective. In prelims, 2 to 3 questions may come, even more than that. Mains also 2 to 3 questions will come, but mains answer writing is different. We have to write it in a very dynamic way. We have to connect a lot of things with respect to India. Okay, fine, then we can start. So India-Africa relations, we'll be covering the basic India-Africa relation from where it started, how it evolved, some schemes, some framework, and what is India-Africa, South Africa, Brazil, that is IPSA, then what is African Union, African Development Bank, all those related stuffs I'll be putting it here. Fine. Okay, first. So here, first of all, we have to know some historical perspective. It may help you in a essay writing or in a GS answer. It may help you. Okay, the relations between India and Africa owe their origin to the monsoon winds. Okay, the sailors from India sailed in southeast monsoonal winds to reach Africa, like that is from June to September, and used the northeastern monsoon winds, that is from December to March, to sail back. So you can use this, like monsoon winds also played a very important part in a historical point of view, like India and Africa relations. In ancient times, India had developed considerable marine and naval technologies. In ancient India, we have like you must have known कि marine और naval technology बहुत ही इंडिया का अच्छा था उस टाइम पे. The reference of maritime strength of India is also found in Rigved. Now here, this is also an important ancient history stuff. I'll be starting very soon my ancient history MCQ session in the same way of modern history and environment. I'll be starting very soon. So in Rigveda also there is a reference of the maritime strength of India. A glimpse of India's natural convergence with West Asia and Africa is found in a guide, or it's a book for sailors known as Periplus of Erythraean Sea. Now this is an ancient history topic. Okay, it is an ancient history topic. So can anyone tell me, like, can mention in the comment box who is the author of this book? Who is the author of this book? Because it's a static part, it's a static of ancient history, so you need to know who is the author. Okay, let me say it. The author is unknown. Nobody knows it. It's an unknown book. Okay. Fine. So in 1497, we all know that during that time Vasco da Gama also came to that route. So when Vasco da Gama reached Malindi, he also noted the presence of Indians in Mombasa and Kilwa. There are some places. Okay, just for like historical perspective stuff, I have added it. If the ancient time was marked by trade, it opened up people-to-people contacts, because in ancient times there was trade, right? With India, there was trade. So kahin na kahin that people-to-people contact started, or people-to-people interaction us time pe aista badha, which in medieval times saw one of its manifestations during the Mughal rule, when Africans were placed in the Mughal army. This is also now from ancient we are moving to medieval. In medieval, the Africans were placed in the Mughal army, and they were mainly the Siddhis, that is the Siddhi community. Okay, Siddhi community is always in news. It's a current affair stuff. People who are the descendants of the Bantu tribes. Now, these Bantu tribes also is in news. Those are going through like 2 to 3 years news. They will come into like they can know it. They can know it. Okay, what I'm talking about. So Bantu tribes, Siddhi community are very important stuff from exam point of view. You have to go through it separately. They are also found in the army of Muhammad bin Qasim. So Muhammad bin Qasim के army में भी these communities or these Africans were like काम कर रहे थे. Okay, fine. So it is a very brief introduction of India and Africa relations with respect to ancient, medieval, and in a way modern times will come to know, but basically it's ancient and medieval times. Fine. Okay. Now when Africa comes into mind, first and foremost, the word or the term which comes is South-South cooperation. That is the SSC. It is also known as or Global South. Very common stuff with regard to current affairs. You must be reading in paper, newspaper and all. South-South cooperation, Global South. See, South-South cooperation, Global South is basically like helping the poor countries. Like the developing countries will help, or the even the developed countries or developing countries will help the poor countries. It's kind of a South-South cooperation. Okay. So first of all, we need to know that this term came from where? This term came from the Bandung Conference of 1955. Now, do not get confused with the Belgrade Conference. Okay. Because Belgrade Conference came in 1961. Okay, and this conference is nothing but the establishment of non-alignment movement. Even Bandung Conference also related to non-alignment movement, because from here Bandung Conference only it ultimately led to the Belgrade Conference. Okay, but if question comes कि South-South cooperation कहाँ से आया था? So the origin goes to here, Bandung Conference of 1955. Okay, Indonesia. India always believed in South-South cooperation and approached it without any conditionality. Without any condition. India का हमेशा से ये रहा है, India कोई condition नहीं put करता. Usually क्या होता है? Developed countries like USA and all, what they put is generally they what they do is they put condition. वो condition put कर देते हैं. Like वो help तो करेंगे, लेकिन they will put some condition कि आपको हमें इतना like you have to pay us this much after some years, or you have to pay interest or something, any kind. So that is they put usually condition. But South-South cooperation में conditionality नहीं होता है. There is no condition. It is pure help. Okay. In contrast, economic diplomacy is an economic engagement by countries for self-benefit through trade. That is the North-South cooperation. This is the difference between North-South cooperation and South-South cooperation. North-South cooperation जो term है, it is basically used in IR language. कि वो एक kind of economic diplomacy होती है. Never use the term economic diplomacy in South-South cooperation. No. Economic diplomacy में हमेशा जो diplomacy होती है, it is mostly into trade. It is mostly into export import करेंगे, but it is mostly into self interest. Her country, every country will see its interest first. Okay, that is economic diplomacy. South-South cooperation में it is purely on like helping. Okay, like helping a poor country without any condition, non-conditionality. But economic diplomacy or North-South cooperation में हमेशा condition रहता है. There is a condition. Okay, South-South cooperation is demand-driven, voluntary, horizontal program with no conditions attached. ये demand-driven होता है because usually, for example, a country like Africa, it's a very underdeveloped continent. A lot of countries there are very underdeveloped, but they're very rich in resources like minerals and all. They're rich in resources. So demand can be created there. It is demand-driven, voluntary. Countries like India, they voluntarily go there. They help countries in Africa. Voluntary, horizontal. Like other countries also help them. There is no head. Like there is no vertical system. Horizontal. Other countries will come and help. Horizontal. It's voluntary. Okay. India governs the following principles related to this: a multi-stakeholder approach. It is based on multi-stakeholder in the sense India will, जो भी India engagement करता है, India private के साथ या individuals organizations बहुत सारों को लेके multi-stakeholder approach करके help करता है. It is based on equality. It is an agenda-based cooperation. Agenda in the sense कि हाँ हम बढ़ाना चाहते हैं, हम अफ्रीका को और डेवलप करना चाहते हैं. Agenda in the sense in that way it is used. Like we have an agenda. We have to, like we want to develop the countries of Africa because they are very rich in resources. So agar the right help is given, so they can also develop. That is an agenda based cooperation. Fine. So यहाँ पे बस आपको बैंडन कॉन्फ्रेंस का याद करना है एंड नॉन कंडीशनल चीज याद करनी है. एंड नॉर्थ साउथ कोऑपरेशन यहाँ पे भी कवर हो गया. दैट इज एन इकोनॉमिक डिप्लोमेसी जहाँ पे बेनिफिट होता है, सेल्फ बेनिफिट रहता है पहले. एंड this is demand driven, voluntary, horizontal program with no conditions attached. ठीक है. Okay, next. Okay, so अभी एक एक करके इंडिया और अफ्रीका के बीच में क्या क्या हुआ था, some important stuff I have tried to include here. Okay, एक हुआ था पैन अफ्रीका ई नेटवर्क प्रोजेक्ट. पैन अफ्रीका ई नेटवर्क प्रोजेक्ट हुआ था. ये कब हुआ था? ये होता 2004 पे हुआ था. इन 2004 एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम व्हाइल एड्रेसिंग द पैन अफ्रीकन पार्लियामेंट एनविजन, मतलब उन्होंने एक सोच था उनका, एनविजन a satellite based connectivity with all African nations to assist them in health and education. एक सैटेलाइट बेस्ड कनेक्टिविटी करना चाहते थे ताकि हेल्थ और एजुकेशन में अफ्रीकन नेशंस गेट डेवलप्ड. The Indian government used the idea to initiate the Pan Africa E-Network project. This project is officially inaugurated in 2010. बहुत सारे एरियाज कवर करता है. ई गवर्नेंस, टेलीमेडिसिन, मेट्रोलॉजिकल सर्विसेज, मिनरल मैपिंग, इंफोटेनमेंट, ई कॉमर्स, टेलीएजुकेशन. कहीं ना कहीं हर जगह पे काम कर रहे हैं. ज्यादा से ज्यादा हेल्थ एंड एजुकेशन में, इट्स मोर इनटू हेल्थ एंड एजुकेशन, लेकिन इन अ वे इट इज काइंड ऑफ ई गवर्नेंस होलिस्टिक वे पे इंडिया ये प्रोजेक्ट किया है अफ्रीका के लिए. ओके फाइन. सो ये एक चीज था, ये आप याद कर सकते हो. ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है लेकिन काफी पुराना है. लेकिन यू नेवर नो, यूपीएससी इज लाइक यू कांट गेस एनीथिंग कि क्या आएगा. सो इट्स बेटर टू लर्न एंड गो. फाइन. नेक्स्ट, एक टीम 9 इनिशिएटिव था. क्वेश्चन आ सकता है टीम 9 इनिशिएटिव इज रिलेटेड टू व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग. दो कंट्री का नाम दे देगा, लाइक इंडिया, अफ्रीका, इंडिया, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, इंडिया, कनाडा, ऐसे भी क्वेश्चन आते हैं. फाइन. सो टीम 9 इज रिलेटेड टू India and Africa. First of all, it's a techno-economic approach movement. Okay, techno-economic approach movement. Okay, between India and Africa. It is a regional initiative exclusively meant for 8 West Asian African nations. Keyword West है. All African यहाँ पे अगर all आ जाएगा तो the statement will be wrong. Okay, West Asian, Asian बोल रहा हूँ, West African nations. West African nations are very underdeveloped. ठीक है, वो तो सहारा वगैरह जो एरिया है, very underdeveloped. Okay, but it is very highly rich. It's rich in resources, not rich in money wise, but it is very resource rich. So West African states are very resource rich and are very underdeveloped. So ये इनिशिएटिव उन्हीं के लिए है ताकि उनको डेवलप करने के लिए इंडिया एक इनिशिएटिव किया था. So इंडिया ने $500 million लाइन ऑफ क्रेडिट दिया इसके लिए. And West African countries does not have large Indian diaspora, but the Gulf of Guinea is certainly a new oil-rich hotspot in West Africa. वहाँ का वो एक बहुत ही नया एक oil-rich hotspot Gulf of Guinea हुआ है. तो India can explore it. India can try to explore it. They can develop it and try to explore lot of things from there. ठीक है. So Team 9 initiative, like direct question आ सकता है. Team 9 initiative is related or associated with which of the following countries? तो वहां पे आपको अफ्रीका के साथ जाना है. ओके नेक्स्ट. फाइन. ये इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ करंट अफेयर्स. यू विल कम टू नो हाउ. इंडिया अफ्रीका फोरम समिट. इंडिया अफ्रीका फोरम समिट बेसिकली इंडिया और अफ्रीका का फोरम समिट है जो कि इन दोनों के बीच में एक मीटिंग होती है. ओके, इन दोनों के बीच में एक मीटिंग होती है. इंडिया लॉन्च इट्स फर्स्ट IAFS इन दिल्ली 2008. यू हैव टू रिमेंबर. तो पहला मीटिंग इंडिया और जो फोरम समिट है, इंडिया अफ्रीका फोरम समिट, ये 2008 में हुआ था दिल्ली में. So the forum concluded with the New Delhi Declaration, which reaffirmed the shared vision of vibrancy and resurgence in India-Africa relations. Like they wanted to like make it more nice, the relationship बिटवीन इंडिया एंड अफ्रीका. सो इनिशियल में और सब बातें हुई, like lot of things they had a talk, but basically it needed कि हाँ we have to have a vision of vibrancy and resurgence in India-Africa relations. The second meeting happened in Addis Ababa. It is ADD. ADDS, Addis Ababa. It is in Ethiopia, the capital है, in 2011. See, first in 2008 Delhi. Okay, second is 2011 Ethiopia. So यहाँ पे एक एडिस अबाबा डिक्लेरेशन हुआ था. It adopted a new cooperative framework based on capacity building, peace, security, etc., etc. India envisioned the creation of institutions like IIT and Indian Institute of Foreign Trade in Africa. India had a vision to create institutions like IIT and IAFT in Africa in the second conference. India also committed to creating a $2 million fund for African Union mission in Somalia to curb piracy. ठीक है, वहां पे बहुत ही पायरेसी, जो पायरेट वहां पे होता है सोमालिया के आसपास, so that also needs to be curbed. So India gave a funding. तो ये जो फर्स्ट एंड सेकेंड IFS हुआ था 2008 and 2001 was conducted as per Banjul formula. Now you have to know what is Banjul formula. Now Banjul formula 2006 में हुआ था. किसने किया था? By African Union. African Union. It is related to India and Africa relations, by the way. African Union will come to know in this video only. I will be covering African Union, everything. So Banjul formula, it was a formula created by African Union where they said any kind of meeting between India and Africa, India can only invite 15 countries from Africa. Like there are total 54 countries. India cannot invite all countries. They can only invite 15 head of the states. Okay, so that was the Banjul formula. So 2008 and 2011, all for example in New Delhi, in all 54 African Union countries did not come to Delhi to meet. Only 15 head of the states came to meet. बस 15 countries आए थे यहाँ पे मिलने के लिए, बैठने के लिए और बात करने के लिए. Because Banjul formula वही है. Okay. Fine. आगे मैंने लिखा है. I have also covered in upcoming slides. So first and second हो गया. Now अभी recently current affair में fourth वाला current affair में है. Like the fourth meeting is a current affair. So you have to know the first, second, third, and fourth. Okay, next. The third one. The third was in 2015 in New Delhi. India decided to do away with the limited participation. India wanted to go away with the Banjul formula. India did not want Banjul formula. India wanted that all 54 countries or all 54 heads of states should come and participate. So in third meeting, Banjul formula was not there, did away. And they invited all 54 head of states from Africa. This was because India decided to launch the Outreach to Africa program. तो एक प्रोग्राम लॉन्च किया कि हम पूरा का पूरा अफ्रीका जितना भी कंट्रीज है, like we have to reach out to each and every country in Africa. So that's why they did not follow the Banjul formula. That they did away with the Banjul formula in the third part, in the third meeting. Now, third, this meeting also opened up with culture. It opened with a cultural note. India showed yoga, Bhangra dance, a very famous Bhangra dance of India. They all showed it. India officially pledged support to African Agenda 2063. Now, this is in current affairs. We'll be covering it in detail. Then nothing much more detail is there, but 2 to 3 stuffs you need to know. I have covered it later. So India, in this 2015 third, India supported, okay, we are pledging support to African Agenda 2063. In 2063, now it is related to African Union. African Union का एक agenda है कि 2063 तक हम पूरा का पूरा अफ्रीका को डेवलप करेंगे अच्छे से. Okay. It pledged support to African 2063 and committed resources to Africa to help achieve goals of this agenda. Or commit किया कि okay, fine, we are committing, we'll provide all the necessary resources. This was also called as a New Delhi Declaration, क्योंकि दिल्ली में हुआ था. Okay. This declaration was unique. It was also unique. क्यों? Because India and Africa collaborated in many areas like solar technology, food security, blue economy, like ocean को sustainable बनाने के लिए, that is the blue economy. Rural housing, skill development, people to people cooperation, sustainable development. मतलब यहाँ पे each and everything were discussed और कहीं ना कहीं बहुत ही अच्छा सा cooperation के बारे में बात हुई. Okay. बट आपको यही याद करना कि ये बंजुल फॉर्मूला के साथ नहीं था. They also adopted the India-Africa framework for strategic cooperation. ओके, तो दो तीन तीन चीज याद करने, दिल्ली में हुआ था 2015, बंजुल फॉर्मूला के साथ नहीं था ये। दे इनवाइटेड एवरी कंट्रीज फ्रॉम अफ्रीका। फिर कल्चरल नोट से शुरू हुआ था, एजेंडा 2063 जो कि अभी करंट अफेयर में है, इसको भी उन्होंने सपोर्ट देने की बात कही। ओके, तो और बाकी हर चीज के बारे में बात हुई थी, बेसिकली सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट से लेके एनवायरमेंट से लेके स्किल से लेके एवरीथिंग में डिस्कस्ड। ओके, अब ये तो करंट अफेयर नहीं है क्योंकि 2015 काफी पुराना है, बट ये कंटेम्प्रेरी अफेयर्स है। क्यों? बिकॉज अभी रिसेंटली बात हुई थी 4th IAFS के बारे में। ओके, तो 4th IAFS मीटिंग हैपेंड इन 2020, फिर से दिल्ली में हुई। तो कंटिन्यूअसली 2015, 5 साल बाद 2020 दिल्ली पे हो रही है। ओके, तो इन ए वे कंटिन्यूअसली हो रही है, सो दैट स्टेटमेंट कैन आल्सो कम इन फिल्म्स। तो यहाँ पे कोऑपरेशन की बात हुई, लाइक कोऑपरेशन इन इन्वेस्टमेंट, एग्रीकल्चर, स्किल डेवलपमेंट, एजुकेशन। This event recapitulated to significant multilateral initiatives that India had launched after the IEFS 3. यहाँ पे IEFS 3 2015 पे हुआ था. If you see after 2015, lot of big things had happened, like International Solar Alliance had happened, CDRI had happened, recently it happened, Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. These are all part of current affairs, and now these have become very static stuff of environment. Okay, welcoming African participation in both of them. Like they had a talk, they tell, okay, fine, the African countries should participate here because Solar Alliance is related to solar energy. CDRI is related to disaster. I can't cover here because these are all extra stuff which you need to cover, because ये सब के लिए अलग अलग वीडियोस होगा। सो यहाँ पे अगर करूंगा तो वो जो अपना होता है वो अलग चला जाता है, बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ कनेक्टिविटी हो जाती है यहाँ पे। ओके, so you can just go through International Solar Alliance, CDRI, these all are environment topics, very basic topics. Okay, welcoming African participation in both of them. यहाँ पे और एक चीज हुई थी 4th मीटिंग में, द इवेंट ऑल्सो रिकॉल द फर्स्ट एवर इंडिया अफ्रीका डिफेंस मिनिस्टर्स कॉन्क्लेव हेल्ड इन 2020 इन लखनऊ। दिस इज ऑल्सो ए पार्ट ऑफ करंट अफेयर इन 2020। बहुत ही बड़ा करंट अफेयर ये था 2020 का। इसको हम लखनऊ डिक्लेरेशन बोलते हैं, जहां पे इंडियन अफ्रीका का डिफेंस मिनिस्टर्स फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम मीट किए थे, कॉन्क्लेव हुआ था। इट वाज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट मीटिंग हुआ था इंडियन अफ्रीका रिलेशंस को। The event also held the coming into force the African Continental Free Trade Area. African, ये एक different topic है which we'll cover today itself. This event also held the coming into force because it was recently came into force. अभी 2019 में ये force पे आया था. It came into force. We'll come to that. Next slide में है. And Africa's Agenda 2063, ये भी next slide में है. So India इस event में काफी तारीफ हुई. Like they said, okay, it's good कि अफ्रीकन फ्री ट्रेड एरिया एग्रीमेंट आ गया, इट केम, एंड अफ्रीका's agenda 2060 also is a good thing. So all these things were like they had a discussion in 4th meeting, and here also Banjul formula was absent. Okay, so Banjul formula सिर्फ first and second में हुआ था, not all. The question can come कि Banjul formula was like it was there in all the 4 या फिर all the 4 summit, India Africa Forum summit, so it will be a wrong statement. Okay, fine. So small things you have to know, because Lucknow declaration was in news. Those who are covering news very religiously, they can understand here कि हाँ Lucknow declaration हुआ था, something happened in Lucknow between Indian Africa defense ministers. Okay, next. Okay, some extra point you can just go through it. Name of the region, important centers, core competency, and some miscellaneous information. West Africa में Nigeria, Ghana, आइवरी कोस्ट, इसमें क्रूड ऑयल इज वेरी मच लाइक दे आर वेरी कॉम्पिटेंट इन क्रूड ऑयल, बट यहाँ पे पायरेसी प्रॉब्लम होती है। साउथ अफ्रीका, साउदर्न अफ्रीका में अंगोला है, साउथ अफ्रीका, यहाँ पे भी क्रूड ऑयल मिलता है, बट अंगोला ओनली में मिलता है क्रूड ऑयल। नॉन ऑयल प्रोडक्ट्स लाइक डायमंड्स, गोल्ड, स्टील मिलता है। यहाँ पे मार्केट एक्सेस इज एब्सेंट, इतना मार्केट यहाँ पे बढ़ा नहीं अभी तक। एंड नॉर्थ अफ्रीका में इजिप्ट है, ट्यूनिशिया है, यहाँ पे ऑयल, केमिकल्स एंड फर्टिलाइजर्स काफी मिलता है वहां पे, लाइक दे हैव दिस थिंग। बट हमें प्रॉब्लम है कि काफी इंस्टेबल है, पॉलिटिकल इंस्टेबिलिटी, अरब स्प्रिंग, दीज आर ऑल पॉलिटिकल प्रॉब्लम्स। ओके, ईस्टर्न अफ्रीका में केन्या, मोजाम्बिक, मॉरिशस, सेशेल्स, ये सब वहां पे है। यहाँ पे लेदर प्रोडक्ट्स, बैग्स, आइलैंड्स आर वेरी स्ट्रेटेजिक इंपोर्टेंस, वहां पे बहुत चीज मिल रहा है। तो इंडिया इस सब चीज का हेल्प ले सकता है। दिस कोर कॉम्पिटेंसी जो है, यू कैन यूज दिस इन अ एसे और इन अ मेंस आंसर राइटिंग, यू कैन यूज इट। कभी भी अगर क्वेश्चन आएगा, दीज ऑल पॉइंट्स यू कैन टेक एंड यूज इट। ऐसा नहीं कि कोई डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन आएगा, दीज आर वैल्यू एडिशन। यहाँ पे इंडियन ओशन कमीशन की बात आती है। इंडियन ओशन कमीशन इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट आईआर टॉपिक, जो मैं अलग से आईआर का क्लास लूंगा। इंडियन ओशन कमीशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। इंडियन ओशन कमीशन हुआ था 1982 में। ओके, एक एग्रीमेंट से आया था जिसका नाम है विक्टोरिया एग्रीमेंट। विक्टोरिया एग्रीमेंट से आया था। इंडिया इज नॉट अ मेंबर ऑफ दिस कमीशन। 4 से 5 इंडियन ओशन स्टेट्स और कंट्रीज जैसे कि मैडागास्कर, मॉरिशियस, रियूनियन आइलैंड्स, सेचेल्स, ये सब है। तो छोटे मोटे जो आइलैंड्स होते हैं उनका एक ग्रुप है इंडियन ओशन कमीशन। ओके, और यहाँ पे जो कंट्रीज है, दिस आर वेरी लेस डेवलप्ड, सो दिस इज ऑल्सो प्रॉब्लम। सो वहाँ पे भी ईस्टर्न अफ्रीका में जो इंडियन ओशन कमीशन कैन प्ले वेरी बिग पार्ट इन डेवलपिंग द ईस्टर्न अफ्रीकन small islands. You can use it in a मेंस आंसर, GS3 के आंसर में, GS2 में आंसर में यू कैन यूज इट। जब IR का आता है 2-3 क्वेश्चन, यू कैन लिंक फ्रॉम हियर। सेंट्रल अफ्रीका में चाड, कंगो, उगांडा, फिर मलावी, रवांडा, वो सब कंट्रीज है। यहाँ पे वेजिटेबल्स एंड कॉफी काफी मिलता है, बट द ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड रीच इज एन इशू। वहां तक जाने के लिए काफी मुश्किल होती है। तो दीज आर ओवरऑल अफ्रीका का मतलब अच्छा ही है, कोर कॉम्पिटेंसी है, और क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम्स भी है। इस हिसाब से आप एक आइडिया लगा सकते हो कि हाँ, कहाँ पे ये सब चीज कौन से क्वेश्चन पे कहाँ पे यूज करना, लाइक हाउ टू यूज दिस, इट इज बेस्ड ऑन योर IQ. द मोर यू रिवाइज, you can have a idea, okay, this is the place where these are things are available which can be used by India. So when any exploration question comes, when any connectivity question comes regarding the how can India increase the market in all these things, so you can use it. Okay, fine. Next. Okay, so Bunzl formula already said, related only with Africa. It was adopted by African Union in 2006, and it meant that India would invite only 15 heads of the states or government through the African Union. But in the third IAFS 2015, all 54 head of states are invited. This formula is specifically focused with India-Africa mix. Okay, same चीज I mentioned here, जो हमने बात की. First one was foundation, second here, third is New Delhi, fourth also New Delhi. Okay, fourth also New Delhi, and third and fourth here no Bunzl formula. Okay, fine. Next. Okay, now let's come to African Development Bank. African Development Bank, it is a bank, जैसे बहुत सारे वर्ल्ड बैंक है, न्यू डेवलपमेंट बैंक है, AIIB है, बहुत सारे बैंक है, राइट? तो वैसा ही एक अफ्रीकन बैंक डेवलपमेंट बैंक भी है. ओके, सो हियर it is for the economic development and social progress of African countries, obviously, because African Development Bank. So you have to understand here 1964, 1 point. Okay, 3 entities है इसका टोटल, जैसे कि वर्ल्ड बैंक हैज 5 entities. World Bank has 5 entities. Similarly, African Development, I'll be covering World Bank in a separate video. So similarly, African Development Bank has 3 entities. 3 entities में एक है African Development Bank. जैसे कि वर्ल्ड बैंक ग्रुप हैज 5 entities, उनमें से एक वर्ल्ड बैंक है. Similarly, African Development Bank has 3 entities. Out of them, one is African Development Bank, one is African Development Fund, another one is the Nigeria Trust Fund. तो इंडिया इनमें से किसका मेंबर है, किसका मेंबर नहीं है, यू नीड टू नो. जैसे कि इंडिया इज अ मेंबर ऑफ वर्ल्ड बैंक, बट इंडिया इज नॉट अ मेंबर ऑफ वर्ल्ड बैंक ग्रुप. ओके, बिकॉज वर्ल्ड बैंक ग्रुप में जो 5 कंपोनेंट है और 5 एंटिटी है, उनमें से एक इंडिया पार्ट नहीं है. Similarly, here we need to know, India joined the African Development Fund in 1982 and became a member of the bank in 1983. India is a non-regional member of the bank. So here we come to know that African Development Bank is not only specific to Africa. Outside Africa also it can happen. Outside Africa, India is a member, right? Outside Africa, but इनका जो objective is for the economic development, social progress of African countries. But you can be a member of the bank outside Africa, भी आप member हो सकते हो, because India is a member, but India is a non-regional member of the bank. 2017 में it was a very good current affair during that time. 2017 में गांधीनगर एनुअल मीटिंग हुआ था, इनका मीटिंग हुआ था, अफ्रीकन डेवलपमेंट बैंक्स मीटिंग हैपेंड. 52nd, it was the 52nd meeting. Okay, first in India. It was the 4th outside Africa. Okay, India initiated here the Namaskar Africa program. Remember, now Namaskar African program, what they can do is they can in UPSC prelims, what they can do, they can confuse you with COVID. Namaskar African, they can confuse you with COVID. Nothing related to COVID here. Okay, because this Namaskar thing had become very famous since since this pandemic is there. So Namaskar Africa program is related to African Development Bank. Remember, okay, to showcase its domestic strength in the sectors where it can assist Africa. India and Africa have decided to identify five areas, five areas, okay, of cooperation: energy, agriculture, e-government, industrialization, health, and pharmaceuticals. No need to remember this, but remember, like there are five sectors where India has told, okay, we will cooperate on this. Another program is there, that is the Focus Africa program. Focus Africa program, India launched it 2002, 2002-3 के आसपास किया था. This is underway in select 24 African nations. ये आज भी चल रहा है. Okay, it is still there, it's still happening. So it is a contemporary stuff in 24 African nations, not all. Within this program, in heads of these 24 nations act as commercial sales agents. It is basically on the commercial activities, बढ़ाने के लिए, to increase the commercial activities, any kind of trade and anything. It can be anything. Focus Africa program. Okay. Next. Okay, fine. Next is Asia Africa Growth Corridor. Very important. Asia Africa Growth Corridor. Here now, what is this? ये क्यों हुआ था? We need to know. Okay. The origin, कहाँ से आया था? The origin happened in that the same Gandhinagar meeting of the African Development Bank meeting. That is the 52nd annual general meeting of the African Development Bank. Okay. Here, Indian PM, along with his Japanese and African counterparts, propounded the idea of AADC. Usually, those are studying since last 2 to 3 years, they know, because it was propounded by India and Japan. Okay. Even also African counterparts also propounded this idea. Okay. Asia Africa Growth Corridor. Okay. So, however, the idea had its origin in the discussion of Indian and Japanese PM in 2016. Before 1 year back, 2016, like India and Japanese PM had decided something. Okay, we will do something. We'll do something. And finally, the idea got propounded in the 52nd meeting of African Development Bank. Under this initiative, a mega sea corridor, that is sea corridor, okay. Here we are not talking about land corridor or something. It is a sea corridor, remember. Okay, sea corridor based on ancient sea routes connecting Africa with India and Southeast Asia is being envisaged. The thing is, it is a mega sea corridor. It is connecting Africa, India, and Southeast Asia also. Remember, it's not between only India and Africa. It's a big sea corridor. This will revive the ancient sea routes and also it will create new sea corridors. ऐसा नहीं कि बस सिर्फ और सिर्फ it will revive the ancient sea routes जो था वहाँ का. It will also revive. It will revive the sea routes and also it will create new sea corridors that will link the ports in Jamnagar in Gujarat to Djibouti in the Gulf of Aden. Djibouti जो एक हॉर्न टाइप ऑफ है अफ्रीका का, इस साइड में, that is Djibouti in the Gulf of Aden, वहीं पे ही है. And similarly the ports of Mombasa जो कि केन्या का है, and Zanzibar very famous, Zanzibar, it is in Tanzania, will be connected to the ports near Madurai. ठीक है, तो गुजरात के साथ लिंक हो रहा है, मदुराई के साथ भी, तमिलनाडु के साथ भी लिंक हो रहा है. Okay, you need to know the names because like nowadays dynamic questions but factual questions are very coming in a very dynamic way, so you need to know. Some scholars say that this corridor is a counter proposal to the Chinese BRI, that is the Belt and Road Initiative of China. कुछ लोग बोल रहे हैं, like some scholars say कि it is a counter to that initiative of China. अब कैसे? In contrast to the BRI, AADC is a purely sea-based corridor. देखो, हमने यहाँ पे clear cut लिखा कि हमारा जो AADC, it is a purely sea-based, okay, which means that it ensures lesser carbon footprint. ज़्यादा कार्बन प्रोड्यूस नहीं होगा. अब लैंड में ज़्यादा होगा, लैंड में ट्रांसपोर्टेशन होता है, ऑब्वियसली कार्बन ज़्यादा होगा, गाड़ियाँ ज़्यादा होगी, व्हीकल ज़्यादा होगा, पॉल्यूशन ज़्यादा होगा इन अ लैंड कॉरिडोर. सी में इन रिलेटिवली सी में कम होता है. सो यू कैन से कि हाँ, AGC is a purely sea-based corridor, which means it ensures lesser carbon footprint. In AGC, the process is more democratic and consultative. Like participation is good, countries will participate, they will talk, each and every discussion will be taken in a very consensus se liya jayega, because the focus here is to assist the African states in the ways they want, which is not in the case for BRI. BRI में जो बड़ा सा बेल्ट एंड रोड इनिशिएटिव कनेक्टिविटी हो रहा है, यहाँ पे इट्स टोटली चाइनीज डोमिनेटेड. यहाँ पे चाइना जैसा चाहेगा वैसा ही होगा. Like how China will devolve the plan, it will happen in that way. But here it is very consultative and democratic. This is a corridor where the private sector will be playing a major role. Here, private sector will play a very major role. But BRI, in contrast to BRI, which will be completely state funded, like completely China. China में private sector का कोई जगह नहीं है. जो country उनका जो सरकार चाहेगा वही होगा, right? So it is mostly private sector participation. Government participation भी रहेगा यहाँ पे. The government and private sector both will participate in this. But it is in contrast to BRI, where it is completely Chinese participation or the state funded. Okay, it is completely state funded. So it is a difference. जो इन दोनों corridor के बीच का है, जो difference है, it may come in a statement oriented prelims question. Okay, fine. Next is IBSA. IBSA is India, Brazil, South Africa Forum. ये देखो forum मतलब क्या? Forum मतलब event. Forum means it is kind of a, they'll come and sit, it will have an event. So it was established in 2003. So you have to know the declaration name, Brasilia Declaration. Okay, so आएगा Brasilia Declaration is related to which of the following organization? There you need to know. Okay, it is related to IBSA. Okay, the purpose is, so here India, South Africa, Brazil is also there. Okay, I've included it here because I thought, because we're talking about India, South Africa, so I thought of including. Okay, the purpose of IBSA is to function as a forum among the members for consultation and coordination on global and regional political issue and trilateral cooperation or collaboration on a project. So it is an example of South-South cooperation. यहाँ पे countries like India and Brazil are like they are committed to develop South Africa. Okay, on any kind of project. It may be a regional, political, global, any kind of project in South Africa. Okay, fine. So there is a IBSA fund. Okay, there is a IBSA fund. It was created in 2004, 1 year after it was established, and it became operational in 2006. Okay, why? For alleviation of poverty, hunger. Okay, now this fund is managed by this United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation. Now here confusion will come. This fund is managed by this. They will put this fund is managed by BRICS, or they can put this fund is managed by the individual countries, India, Brazil, and South Africa. Wrong statement. So here factual information detailing is what is required to understand. Okay, the countries are 3, but there is a fund which is for the 3 countries, but it is managed. The term is managed, keyword, and this is the keyword. It is managed by United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation. So in here, what happens is each country will contribute US $1 million per year to the IBSA fund. Now, IBSA started that, stated, it's not started, it stated that this fund is not ODA. Now, what is ODA? ODA is Official Development Assistance. We'll cover this. Official, O capital, Official Development Assistance. IBSA has stated, R is not there, it's TATED. IBSA ने ये state किया, ये बोला है कि this fund is not Official Development Assistance. Rather, it is South-South Cooperation, and have asserted for differentiation between South-South Cooperation and Official Development Assistance. IBSA ने ये बोला कि आपको पहले you need to know कि South-South Cooperation का difference on Official Development Assistance, that is the ODA का difference क्या है, and हमारा जो IBSA fund है, it is SSC, it is not Official Development Assistance. It can also come in a prelims manner. They can formulate this question कि the fund was created for official development as a part of ODA, so it will be wrong. Now here we have to cover the difference between, because we are covering IBSA, we have to cover the difference between, okay, ODA and this South-South. We know what is South-South cooperation. ODA is kind of that North-South cooperation, you can in a way say, that is that economic diplomacy, which we just covered in our first or second slide. Okay. So what is ODA? ODA is official development assistance. Okay. Now this term, who coined it? Who started this term? You have to know this. This term was coined by OECD, Organization of Economic and Cooperation and Development. Now this OECD is an IR topic. Okay. Separately we have to cover. Okay. Separately we have to cover because a lot of stuffs are there in OECD also. To measure aid, such as in the form of soft loan, etc., for economic development of recipient country. Like it is a kind of a aid or a help to a country for its economic development, but in the form of a soft loan. Loan rahega. It can be like the rate of interest can be very less, but loan rahega. Free nahi diya jayega. Okay, it's not free. Okay. So ODA and Global South, that is the SSC के difference क्या है? ODA is obligatory in nature for developed countries. It is obligatory. करना पड़ेगा. Developed countries have to give ODA. अगर आप ODA को support कर रहे हो, so it is obligatory on you. Okay, you have to pay. You have to help the recipient country or you have to help the poor country. But SSC is voluntary. जैसे कि हमने already discuss कर रखे हैं. It is already like we discussed now. It is voluntary in nature. ODA is a supply-driven process whereby it is the donor country that determine the project to fund. It is a supply-driven. और यहाँ पे कौन सा प्रोजेक्ट में फंड करना है, इट इज द डोनर, मींस द डेवलप्ड कंट्री जो पे कर रहा है या फिर जो हेल्प कर रहा है, द कंट्री व्हिच इज पेइंग, दैट कंट्री विल डिटरमिन द प्रोजेक्ट की फंड. तो यहाँ पे डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज हैव एन एज कि हाउ दे विल डिसाइड. सो इट इज अ सप्लाई ड्रिवन. But SSC is a demand-driven process whereby it is the partner countries that will determine the priorities. Like countries, अफ्रीका में they will determine, okay, हमारा यहाँ पे resource अच्छा है, we have this country, we have rich in resources, please help us. Okay, so it is a demand-driven process. ODA creates new dependencies between donor and recipient countries. जाहिर सी बात है, अगर यहाँ पे donor country funding कर रहा है, the funding is done by the donor country and the donor country is also having this say in the project. What kind of things will fund in what kind of projects. So it will create a dependency. It will create a dependency. Who will depend? The small countries will start depending on the developed countries. So it will create a new dependencies, ODA. But here, jo SSC, here what happens is it primarily rests in creating interdependence. So here the word, you have to clearly use the right word if mains question comes. Here dependency, but here interdependence. Dependency and interdependence, there's a difference, thin line difference. It creates interdependence with recipients country initiate, organize and manage activities on projects. Here the recipient countries, the small countries, the like for example the African countries, they will manage. Funding will come from countries like India or USA, but they will manage. These countries will manage. Okay. Here ODA relies on economic, political, conditionality. I told Global South or SSC में condition नहीं रहता. It is more of helping. Here condition will come. It may be in the form of economic. It may be in the form of political. कोई war चल रहा है अफ्रीका या कहीं पे भी. Now small countries need help, right? US will come and tell, or even a country like China will come and tell, okay, fine, we'll pay this, we'll create this infrastructure, we'll pay you this money, but you have to support us. That is the condition. Condition comes. Okay, so it can be based on political conditionality, economic conditionality, like a loan or something. If we are paying you funding, we are doing a funding, but you have to pay us, you have to pay interest or something. It may be in a small value, like small interest, but there is some conditionality present here in ODA. But in SSC, there is no. It relies on economic and political non-conditionality. Okay, no condition is there in South-South cooperation. Okay. Now, one more thing, the formation. Now, where obviously ODA concept came from OECD, we covered here. Now, how SSC concept came, from where it came, that also you need to know. SSC concept came from the formation of SSC, that is the South-South cooperation, can be traced back to the Asian African Conference. That is nothing but the Bandung Conference held in Bandung, Indonesia in 1955. And this Bandung Conference eventually led to the 1961 Belgrade Conference, that is a non-alignment movement. Okay, non-alignment movement is a static topic of IR, which you need to cover it separately. बहुत ज़्यादा तो नहीं है उसमें, लेकिन still then you need to cover some stuffs like some country's name or something. इतना भी नहीं है वहाँ पे. It's a very small topic. नाम. Okay. Okay, so Banding Conference I've covered here. 1955 में हुआ था. The first large-scale Asian, African or the Afro-Asian Conference meeting of Asian and African states. It is and meeting of Asian countries like India, Indonesia, and most of the African states, most of which were newly independent. तब new independence मिला था सबको. Some 29 countries participated. India also participated. Now, what was the aim of that conference? The aim of that conference was to promote Afro-Asian economic and cultural cooperation, to oppose colonialism and neo-colonialism by any nation. तब नया colonialism बंद हुआ था. Like 1947, India got independence. Few small countries were getting independent during that time. So they opposed colonialism and neo-colonialism. Now, what is neo-colonialism? See, neo-colonialism is a practice of capitalism, globalization, cultural imperialism, and conditional aid to influence a developing country instead of direct military method. Colonialism is direct military method. Up World War I, World War II, all were based on colonialism. Directly you control. Military support say you control one country or you capture one country. But neo-colonialism is you capture it, but it is kind of like putting your capitalist attitude, globalization karke you are captured. Like countries, Africa is a victim of neo-colonialism. Okay, you put cultural imperialism. For example, you put your own culture into that country, like kind of Western culture has come into India. It is a small example of cultural imperialism. We are more, day by day, we're more getting into Western culture. So that is a kind of this neo-colonialism. And conditional aid. You are helping, but you are doing it in a condition already discussed. Those are all examples of neo-colonialism, to influence a developing country or a very small country instead of direct military method. Now, who coined this term? This term was coined by this. ये जो particular term है neo-colonialism. It was coined by a French philosopher, Jean-Paul Sartre. It's a name, okay, in 1956. But it was first used. Now, इसने तो coin कर लिया, like it was used by Kwame Nkrumah in context of African countries. No need to remember this, but you need to know you understand what is neo-colonialism. It can come in any form in prelims. You have to understand. Okay, so in this conference, Bandung Conference, Nehru, Sukarno were all present. This conference eventually led to the Belgrade Conference of 1961, where the non-alignment movement was established in Belgrade Conference. Okay. So yeah, that was this is the part which we covered. Now let's move ahead. Some little more stuff, sir. There we can cover it. Okay. So now African continent free trade area, no track. You can it's just a mistake. There is nothing called track. Okay, free trade area. Okay, so 54 African countries out of total 55 countries. So 54 African countries are a part of this African continent free trade area. It's an agreement signed at Kigali, Rwanda. That is the Kigali Declaration of 2018 Current Affairs. किसने broker किया था? It was brokered by African Union. Now don't confuse this 2018 Kigali with the Kigali Agreement. Now we have a separate Kigali Agreement. Okay, that is related to environment, Vienna Convention of Protection of Ozone. Okay, like the it was amendment to the Montreal Protocol. Montreal Protocol is under Vienna Convention, right? Montreal Protocol was amended 2016 Kigali Agreement. Now one question for everyone. Montreal Protocol जो amend हुआ था, was it the first time it was amended? That is the 2016 Kigali. Yes or no? If no, then how many times? How many times the Montreal Protocol was amended? Okay. So Montreal Protocol is related to Vienna Convention. हर convention के अंडर में protocols होते हैं. UNFCCC 2 protocols. One is Kyoto, one is Paris. Okay. Similarly, Vienna Convention for Protection of Ozone, we have one protocol, that is Montreal Protocol. Okay. Now just comment करो कि is it the first agreement, like first amendment? Is Kigali is the first agreement to amendment to the Montreal Protocol? Yes or no? You can comment your answers. Okay. Now this free trade area is the largest in the world in terms of participation since the formation of WTO. WTO 1994 पे हुआ था, तब उसके बाद ये सबसे ज्यादा बड़ा free trade area है in terms of participation. A lot of countries participated in 54 African countries since the formation of WTO. Okay. Okay, now let's cover African Union. These kind of information for prelims, you need to know some declaration name, the year, like why it was done, and something related to current affairs. Okay, so African Union came in 2002. First of all, you need to know 2002, 55 member states. Okay, अब African Union से पहले कौन था? इससे पहले कुछ तो होगा, because 2002 is a very recent thing. उससे पहले it was OAU, that is the Organization of African Unity. ये 1963 से हुआ था till 1919. So the African Union is the successor to this organization. Like इससे पहले the name was OAU. So no need to go in detail of OAU. Okay, just you need to know. Okay, 1963 से हुआ था. What is the vision of African Union? An integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa. 2019. This African Union got ratified, so it is very recent. ठीक है, ratify हुआ था, काफी time लग गया. Okay, so now you need to know a declaration name, that is the Sirte Declaration. The Sirte Declaration, it's a place, Libya. So it was happened in 1919. It was a resolution to adopt it to establish African Union. We all know, we hear, we read everywhere African Union. But very few people know the declaration name which led to the establishment of African Union. That is the Sirte Declaration. This question can come. Usually declaration names question come like short questions. The recently news, this declaration related to which of the following. Okay. Okay, so Sirte Declaration was the one which led to the adoption of African Union. Okay. Now there is something called NEPAD. NEPAD is nothing. It's a program, economic development program of African countries. It is a new partnership for African development. It is an economic development program for the African Union. It was adopted at the 37th Assembly session of the Assembly of Heads of State of the Government in 2001 in Zambia, Lusaka. Okay. Okay. Aims to provide an overarching vision and policy framework for accelerating economic cooperation and integration among African countries. Now, in current affairs, there is something called Agenda 2063. Nothing. It is an agenda. It is a list of things which the African countries are. It's their vision. Okay, by 2062 we need to be this. That is the Africa we want. It is the Africa's blueprint and master plan for transferring Africa into a global powerhouse in the future. Now this we know, but some small things we need to understand here, like we need to know also, that is the Solomon Declaration of 2013. See, in 2013, okay, do it plus 50 years is equal to 2063. So the question can come, genesis of Agenda 2063. ये जो Agenda 2063 आया कहाँ से है? From where it came? This declaration, Solomon Declaration, all related to African Union. It is the genesis of this Agenda 2063. So यहाँ पे हुआ क्या था? यहाँ पे क्या हुआ था? Golden Jubilee celebrations of OAU. OAU, that is the precursor to African Union. उससे पहले जो था बंद हो चुका है, लेकिन एक celebration हुआ था. If you see Golden Jubilee celebration, because 2013 OAU कब हुआ था? 1963. So Golden Jubilee हो गया. ये बंद हो गया है, but in a way that it's significance, like significance, like symbolic. They had like a celebration था. So the heads of African states made a 50-year vision. यहाँ पे Solomon Declaration में they made a vision कि okay 2013 to 2063 develop करेंगे पूरा अफ्रीका को. Okay, so from here this Agenda 2063 came. This Agenda 2063 is in news nowadays. Okay, you must have gone through this, but you can just add in your notes ki Solomon Declaration. Okay. Okay, fine. Next, what is African Development Bank? Okay. थोड़ा कवर कर देंगे इसको। अफ्रीकन डेवलपमेंट बैंक 1964, 53 अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज एंड 27 नॉन अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज, so टोटल 80 हो गया। तो इट मींस नॉन अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज लाइक, जैसे कि हमने बोला इंडिया इज आल्सो मेंबर, इंडिया इज ए नॉन रीजनल मेंबर। टुडे now only we discussed 2 to 3 slides before we discussed, so 27 non-African countries are also member of this bank. इसका हेडक्वार्टर है अबिडजान, that is the capital of country, Cote d'Ivoire. So now write the other capital. So it is this Cote d'Ivoire has 2 capitals. Comment below the 2 names. One is this. What is the other? Comment. Anyone can comment some information regarding this. Any new things, any kind of good knowledge is welcome in comments. Okay. It finances for the development of member countries. फाइनेंस किसको करता है? मेंबर कंट्री के डेवलपमेंट को फाइनेंस करता है। तो अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज भी हो सकता है, नॉन अफ्रीकन भी हो सकता है। ऑब्वियसली ज्यादा से ज्यादा तो इनके लिए होगा, फॉर मोर फाइनेंसिंग विल बी डन फॉर अफ्रीकन। इट कैन आल्सो डू फॉर दिस इफ दे आर मेंबर। तो ऑब्वियस सी बात है, बैंक इज ए बैंक, इट कैन फाइनेंस टू इट्स मेंबर कंट्रीज। गांधीनगर में इनका हुआ था, ऑलरेडी कवर्ड 2017, ओनली वंस इन इंडिया हुआ है। ओके, नाउ द अफ्रीकन डेवलपमेंट बैंक ग्रुप, okay, जैसे कि वर्ल्ड बैंक ग्रुप has 5 entities. Similarly, African Development Bank Group has 3 entities. These 3 entities. 1964, one is African Development Bank, which is this. One is African Development Fund, 1972. Okay, this one is 1964. Chronology भी जरूरत हो गई है. In today's time, chronology questions are also coming. And in 1976, this is a Nigeria Trust Fund. Just remember, Nigeria Trust Fund, India is not a member. India is not a member. Just remember. So if question comes, India is a member of African Development Group, that will be a wrong statement because India is not a member of Nigeria Trust Fund. Okay. India joined the African Development Fund in 1982. India joined this. India also is a member of this. Okay. So India has also a bilateral trust fund, that is the India Africa Economic Cooperation Fund. एक bilateral trust fund भी है इन दोनों के बीच में. Only that for enhancing economy and all. Okay. So the Nigeria Trust Fund, India is not a member. So Nigeria Trust Fund was initiated by the Nigerian government to assist the development efforts of the poorest African Development Bank members. Here India is not a member. One thing I need to share here, those who want, like this is the IR series. Fine, we have covered 3 as of now. Anyone who wants any kind of topic related to IR can share in comments. Like what you want. In that way, I will also have an idea. Okay, these much are the students who want this topic or this organizations. I will cover it holistically, each and every topic. You do not need to worry about that. You do not need to go to any site and explore. You can check after seeing my video. I'll cover each and everything. So leave it that to me. So, but comment it like what organization names you want. Just comment it. You want this. You want a video on this. You want a video on that organization. You want a video on SEO. You want a video on Eurasian Economic Cooperation. So, so that I will also have an idea. Okay, fine. Okay, rest everything is you can go to my website and check www.csrclasses.in. A series you can avail, everything is there. Okay, fine. Thank you.